Our next award is very special. It's the Pioneer Award, and the gentleman we're about to honor is here with his family and friends, and everyone in the room who knows him is a friend. So please watch this video, if you will.
Before Boston wakes up, Richard Chase is hard at work.
Good morning. How are you today?
He's a photographer on the morning shift who helps get reporters like me on TV.
Who is live outside the garden.
Now, after 4 decades at WBZ, Richard is retiring.
Started work then and haven't looked back.
It's hard to know what's happening if you don't have history. And so Richard has history on everything, and that will be sorely missed.
And Richard has a lot of history.
Live in Nagano, Japan.
From the quest for gold, the quest for perfection, to the birth of a legend.
It's having a front row seat to see something while it's happening.
He's retiring from Channel 4, but I think he has a lot more to contribute to this culture and this society and this community.
Do you really have to go?
I'm not going to stop taking pictures. I'm going to always take pictures. I'll just pick up a smaller camera and keep taking pictures.
And here to present the award to Richard is another great news photographer and a man who's still taking pictures, Danny Marotta.
Hi, I'm Danny Marotta. I joined WBZ in 1972, and I went into the film processing lab. So I met most of the photographers that brought their film back to the lab. Well, one day, this smartly attired large man came back and gave me the film. And I'm thinking to myself, geez, look at this, a reporter's bringing back the photographer's film. No, Richard introduced himself as a fellow photographer. Oh, okay, that's great. So I worked in the lab for another 3 years or so, and I worked my way out into the field, and I became one of the photographer crew. So I worked with Richard in those years, and Richard was always the go-to guy who gave you all the information, willing to share his information and his contacts, where to go, who to see, and that kind of thing. Richard knew everybody. No matter where you went, everybody knows Richard. So we're in the old garden. We're in the Celtics locker room. I see Richard talking to the players. And I'm thinking, geez, did Richard play for the Celtics at one time? Really? No, they just, everybody knew and loved Richard. So in the years that we worked, I spent 37 years at Channel 4. We covered a lot of good stories and a lot of bad stories. And working with Richard, you knew that if anything got tense, that Richard had your back. And being a former military guy in Southeast Asia, that counts a lot. You didn't have to worry about anybody because Richard was there always with you. You're a true professional. And our esteemed president of this broadcasters thing was our news director. He knew Richard was always going to get that story back. We started out with film. We went into videotape and then to live. Richard was always his go-to guy. As you saw in the video, he always got the people on TV. And it's truly important. It fills the holes between the commercials, and that's what counts. But Richard was one of those guys that you could always count on. And it's in his personal life and his professional life, and he always got the job done. On a personal note, he became a true friend. And I think of him as my big brother. And he truly is a large man. I walk in his shadow most times. I look up to him a lot, too. But he was one of those guys that, like I said, always got the job done. And a little funny story is that Richard always had the newest and the best toys. And to this day, whether it be personal thing or professional thing, he always had it. And I believe, Marilyn, he still has all those toys at home, doesn't he? I think he does, yes. And in the course of those 37 years, I worked with his brothers, Stephen and Chucky. Sadly, both of them gentlemen, like Richard. Good job, Mrs. Manning. He was, again, a true professional. It was a real pleasure to work with him. And so there's not much I could say because we have a little bit of a limited time, and I can't even see the time clock. Oh, there it is. But it gives me great pleasure to introduce my friend, Richard Chase, a true professional.
I can't see that, so I'm going to go a lot longer than Barry did. But I truly, thank you. I want to thank everyone, first of all, giving honor to God for bringing me here. This is rough. I have Peter Brown, thank you. Those that nominated me, thank you. Those that voted for me, thank you. Many years ago, my mother wanted to keep me out of trouble, so she took me to a photography class. Little did she know, she got me in more trouble than I could think of. I wound up learning photography and could not stop. It carried me to the best days of my life and meeting some of the greatest people, journalists, wonderful people like Danny. He's my brother from another mother, but he's my brother. You know, and I want to thank my wife, Marilyn, for being so strong. And I'll tell a quick story. She decided when we first got married she was going to go with me to a story. And I got called back to work. She was going to go. She decided at 11 o'clock she was going with me. She'll never go another story with me again because that next morning she was still with me and she saw people going to work that she knew. So she learned photographers don't just work 8 hours a day. But I really want to thank everyone for being so good to me. And the Massachusetts Broadcasters Hall of Fame is a very good organization. I also want to thank some of the photographers, like my first partner, Bill Franklin, Nat Whittemore, Danny Murata. It's always been there. You know, so with those few words, I'm not going to hold you up because everybody wants to eat, but thank you. Kenny Stiles, I will have to say him, one of our last jobs, we drove cross-country to do a football game, and nobody thought we could do it, but we did do it. And I thank you for being there with me. All right. Thank you, everyone.